man. Shout out to Dante's Boxing Nation.
DBN Nation, of course. Support DBN Nation. You hearing it from Floyd Money Mayweather.
It's Terrence Crawford, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
This is Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Hi, you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation. Woo! Hey.
Gervonta Tank Davis told his trainer in the 9th round, "What's wrong with my body?" Basically, his body is not responding like it should be, which that could be due to the fact that he struggled to make the weight. However, his trainer Kelvin Ford gave him the right instructions, which were use the jab, don't look for the knockout, and the knockout will come. How y'all doing, DBN Nation? Happy New Year. Subscribe below if you're trying to get smarter by the minute. If you're trying to get dumb about a second, don't, and listen to old media or these casual fans. Now, shout out to Dante for starting the new media wave and for giving me the opportunity to post on his platform. He is truly appreciated. That being said, whatever Gervonta Tank Davis stated in the corner proves my point, which is Gervonta Tank Davis didn't bring his A game, and he even told you that after the fight. However, you have fans coming to my page telling me that he looked great and he wasn't gassed out, which they missed the point. The reason he didn't gas out is because he didn't punch himself out looking for the knockout. He too smart for that. He took his time. He knew what kind of condition he was in, so he fought at a pace that he could sustain for 12 rounds, which proved my point. Obviously, he stated that when I was hitting Gamboa, he was hurt, but he wouldn't go down. Which means, the translation for that, he was hitting him. He could have followed up. But, like I stated time and time again, he wasn't in condition to do so. So he really had to fight at a certain pace to go 12 if he has to. So for all the people that said that they didn't see nothing wrong, it's obvious that Gervonta Tank Davis, looking back to the fight, won every single round. Even the rounds he took off, he still won because obviously Gamboa had an injury, and it's credit to Gervonta because he caused that injury to take place. That's the kind of power Gervonta Tank Davis brings to the table. But if you want to be the second coming of Floyd, you can't just rely on your power. Obviously, Gervonta Tank Davis has the skill as well. But as far as his dedication level, it ain't nowhere near Floyd. The fact that he moved up 5 pounds and still struggled to make the weight let us know that he be blowing up in weight in between fights, which he can't afford to be doing that in the future because it's taxing on the body. Like I said, yes, he looked great. I mean, the first couple rounds, he showed us why he's so special. But then he stopped doing a lot of the things that was working for him early on in the fight because he didn't have the stamina to sustain it, even though he was hammering Gamboa to the body and the head. But you have to have stamina, and you got to keep in mind when you have a hurt opponent in front of you, and he's one of the best finishers in the game and couldn't finish a hurt Gamboa, it was due to multiple reasons. One was the fact that Gamboa is a veteran and he was tying up Gervonta, wrestling him almost. Second, Gervonta wasn't in the best condition. So because he's a boxer puncher, he obviously have to exert more energy when throwing power punches. And you got to recover from that. You can't just throw power punches all night. The equivalent for one power punch is a sprint. So good luck trying to sprint 10 times in a row when you are already jogging or at least running the whole time. And that was the case for Gervonta. You have to be in supreme condition to be able to do the things that Gervonta does on his best day. However, against Gamboa, that wasn't his best. At least condition-wise, not skill-wise. He showed us that he had the skill. He showed us that he had the will. He showed us that he had the chin. He showed us almost the whole package except of the conditioning, because obviously he struggled to make the weight. And in the future, I would hate to see Gervonta Tank Davis lose to a guy like Lomachenko, for example, just because Lomachenko is better prepared than a Gervonta. Gervonta might bring his C game, and then Lomachenko bring his A+ game, and let's say Lomachenko exit out. I would hate to see that. So like I told y'all on Split Decision, hosted and posted every Sunday live, so join us. I told y'all that if Gervonta Tank Davis is going to lose to a fighter like Lomachenko or whoever, then let it be because they the better fighter. Not because they the better fighter that night, since they came better prepared than a Gervonta. I would hate to see that. Like I said, let it be because they the better fighter, not because they better prepared and you left some of the tools at home instead of bringing the whole package, is all I'm saying. So for the people that tell Gervonta he did perfect, he did nothing wrong, they obviously not telling him the truth. Don't get me wrong, he still did great. Obviously he won every single round, still got the knockout, but still he has to bring the whole package against the top level opponents in their prime. It's obvious that he could get away with it against a Gamboa who's a shell of himself, or even a Cruz. I believe Gamboa is a harder fight for Gervonta than a Cruz. I believe he just washes Cruz. But I'm talking about the best. Gervonta has to bring the whole package, and that has to start from today. He can't afford to wait for a mega fight and then all of a sudden put everything together, because he's gonna be panicking. He has to put all the tools together now and get it in order, so when the time comes, he just could get it out the bat. It's obvious that he has the talent, he has the skill, he has everything he needs to be successful. He just have to put it all together. And like Andre Ward stated, which he is a former pound for pound #1. So obviously he's speaking from personal experience. And he stated, when you tax your body and you don't take care of your body, and then you in a tough fight and you want to dig deep, at that moment you might dig deep and find nothing there, or you even might start doubting yourself. So you have to take care of your body as a fighter and live a fighter lifestyle, and more importantly, don't get caught up in the moment and live a rapper lifestyle instead. So I believe this is a wake-up call for Gervonta Tank Davis, and I believe this experience is something he needed before a mega fight. It ain't like he learned something new, because obviously he had his way, but I'm talking about more physically than mentally. Mentally, I think Gervonta Tank Davis is all good. Physically, the way he be taxing his body, ain't no telling. So that being said, I believe it's a wake-up call. I remember when Floyd Mayweather fought Emmanuel Stewart, I believe it was his name, that gave him a tough fight. He was throwing a lot of punches. Floyd Mayweather wasn't in the best shape of his life, and he learned in that fight, even though he stopped his opponent and won pretty convincingly, obviously. But he learned that he can't take any opponent for granted. And then he fought Corrales after that and showed up and showed out. So the point is, that could be the case for Gervonta Tank Davis. So he kind of have to follow that Floyd Mayweather blueprint, which is be around superstars all you want, but stay focused. If you have to run from the club back home, then do so. I believe the best solution is to keep Gervonta Tank Davis active. If I was Floyd, I give Gervonta Tank Davis 3 fights a year. I have him fight 3 fights a year, which that's going to translate to him working out for 6 months, because he's going to have to be in training camp for 2 months for every fight. Then all he has to worry about is not blow up and wait for 2 months. Obviously, 1 month he could chill and relax and let his body heal. Then the month after that, just do light workouts just to stay in shape, and then get back in training camp. Now, if he does that, Gervonta Tank Davis is a problem. He obviously is a problem. However, that solution for that problem is going to be hard to solve if he brings the whole package. So that being said, for the people that actually came at me telling me that I'm giving Gervonta Tank Davis a hard time, which I find it funny because I feel like it's the other way around. I feel like people are lying to Gervonta in a way if they telling him he did nothing wrong, because he had a hurt opponent in front of him, which he could easily finish because he is one of the best finishers in the game, and he had a hard time doing so because of multiple reasons. One of them was his condition. So I'm just trying to make sure that Gervonta Tank Davis don't end up losing to somebody he's not supposed to lose to just because he didn't bring his A game. And I'm just not understanding why people are playing teammates. Because if you really care about your teammate, you're going to tell him the truth, so he come better prepared next time. Even Gervonta gave himself a C for his performance. He stated that. He also told his trainer in between rounds that his body's not responding the way it should be. So it's obvious that Gervonta could be better prepared, and that's why I'm trying to make sure. However, it's up to him. I believe he sees the bigger picture. I believe he already took a bite of the apple and he tasted it and he wants some more. So I believe he's gonna get it together and bring the whole package every time. So I'm looking forward to seeing Gervonta Tank Davis next couple fights. I believe Cruz possibly next. I mean, that's gonna be a big fight on pay-per-view, but I don't know how big is it gonna be, because I don't think a lot of people believe in Cruz like that. I mean, Gervonta will wash him. So that being said, subscribe below if you're trying to get smarter by the minute. If you're trying to get dumb about a second, don't, and listen to these casual fans / old media. Now, if you want to be part of the Aki, however you want to call it, if you want to be part of the family, then go ahead and click on the notification bell to get notified every time you post or go live on Split Decision. And if you want to be dripped up like the Aki be on Split Decision, then go ahead and cop the Aki merch in the description box below. Go ahead and follow Lunatune. And when y'all do call in to Split Decision, we're going to announce your debating record, how many debates you won or lost, and then post a picture of you with the Aki drip on. So go ahead and order the Aki drip / merch in the description box below. And when y'all do so, take a pic and send it to my IG, which also you can find it in the description box below. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram as well. And shout out to New Media. Shout out to Dante for starting the New Media wave. And shout out to DBN for giving me the opportunity to post on his platform. He truly appreciate it. And to be continued on the next episode of Aki TV. Peace, and we outie.